Hello, everyone. My name is Paige Johnson. I'm the Director of Strategic Alliances here at Skience, and I'd like to welcome you to what is the first of several conversations we'll be having over the next few weeks with CEOs, executives, subject matter experts, and others regarding the topic of resiliency and how they've helped build or maintain that resiliency in their businesses, their workforce, and even themselves. Resiliency was really a natural topic for us to land on. Because over the last couple of weeks, our day-to-day lives have been changed dramatically. And I think we all understand that change is inevitable. And here at Skience, we've started thinking about what makes a business strong when business is anything but usual. We want to get the perspectives of some of our good friends and share them with you. With me today is Rich Walker, founder and CEO of Quik. I'm so happy for you to join us, Rich.
I'm super happy to be here. Thank you, Paige.
Great, fantastic. Skience has partnered with Quik for almost 7 years, and their electronic forms are at the heart of Science's new account opening and account maintenance workflows. Rich, I've known you for several years, and I have to say you are the perfect person to help us kick off this series. So I've got a few questions I want to run past you, so let's just jump right in. First of all, big question, how has Quik transitioned to working from home and having everyone remote?
You know, Paige, I think no matter how well prepared you are, it's still a transition. We built our entire architecture around disaster recovery over 10 years ago so that we could do this type of transition if necessary. Not that we were thinking pandemic. No, I don't think anybody was thinking pandemic, but thinking about what happens if our office burned down? What happens if all of our computers were stolen? So over 10 years ago, we made the choice that every person in our organization would have a laptop because it's simple. It all has a keyboard, a monitor, a built-in mouse typically, and a battery. So it's pretty easy to be mobile and move around. It also means that it's exchangeable. So you can move to a different laptop. And so the other part of our strategy then was every single piece of our software should be cloud-based. Our accounting is cloud-based, our ticket system's cloud-based, our support system, everything you can think of is cloud-based. So literally, our laptops are dumb machines, and we could switch off to any other machine in just a matter of moments. So using things like password keepers, we use LastPass, for example, so that you can access all your content fast through LastPass going into all those accounts. It just makes it so much simpler. But, you know, I don't think every person on our team is accustomed to working from home. I think that's been my life since I became a professional out of college, traveling all the time. My office was my computer. But I think many team members that we have, they did it once in a while. I think everybody's done it probably about once a month for the past 5 years. But still, working from home 24/7, that's a new experience for everybody.
I would agree. So it sounds like you were very prepared. Would you say that's the biggest challenge, was just the adapting to working remotely, or what has been the biggest challenge?
I think the biggest challenge is communication. Because we're accustomed to going to an office and seeing everybody face to face all the time, and it's just easy to pop over to somebody's desk. Though ironically, we're sitting feet apart from each other and constantly hitting Slack or, you know, chatting with each other instead of talking. So it's not too foreign, but I've made a point of calling all my employees one-on-one at least once a week, and we have status meetings, and we've actually increased the number of meetings that we have, as well as creating just time slots. So for example, we've always had a standing 11 a.m. meeting with my engineering team, but other teams are now doing that, which is really cool because then they have this open time. They know they can connect with each other and communicate. But overall, it's been very, very smooth. I would say one of the bigger challenges we heard from one of our team members is that they're now working at home with their spouse and their mother-in-law who got laid off from work. And, you know, the kind of stress and strain you have on relationships being around each other 24/7, you don't realize it until you actually do it, right? Like
I think we're all realizing that.
Right.
For certain.
So yeah, I think communication has been the biggest challenge overall.
Great. And so how have you personally been impacted by this new work environment?
Well, I have a 2-year-old. I have a 5-year-old. Unfortunately, we got really, really sick, and we don't have COVID. We found out we're negative for COVID, but we've had all the symptoms, and one of the worst, I'd say, illnesses of our family's history. So that's been a challenge because, you know, normally my wife, who's an ER nurse, she's very capable. She'd handle all these situations, but I'm at home, I'm sick, the kids are sick. So I mean, I think that it's been challenging because there's no reprieve. There's no break from it. And now we're getting healthier and things are getting back to normal. So that's kind of nice. But yeah, I mean, it's this environment's interesting, and you know, I'm thankful for what we have. We do have good health and we're moving forward. And we do have a company that is essentially helping others work remote and be able to do their jobs. And that creates a lot of stability. So I'm very, very pleased with how we're faring in all of this.
Good. That's very great to hear. Rich, when we think about being resilient, there are a number of ways that we define it. How would you say you define resiliency?
You know, a long time ago, I came up with this idea of what is mental strength. And I would say resilience is born on your own mental strength. And so my definition of mental strength is literally the conversation you have with yourself during a difficult time. So you think about that. If you're in a very, very dark place and having a hard time, whether that's like we were sick and not sleeping with the kids and everything, what are you telling yourself? What is the conversation you're having? If you're having a negative, depressing conversation, then you don't have strong mental strength. That's not going to help you through a situation. If you are giving yourself positive feedback and saying, I'm going to get through this, it sucks right now, but I'm going to keep moving forward, then I think you empower yourself and you build a lot of foundational strength to keep moving forward. Well, I think the same thing holds true for your company. As a leader, I'm an optimist, and I don't like being called a cheerleader, but probably I'm a cheerleader as well, because I'm constantly showing people a vision and promoting the future of where we're headed, not where we're stuck, not where we're just sitting. And I think it's really important for everybody in our industry to be thinking that way. You know, spell out the vision of what we're going to be able to accomplish and how we're going to accomplish it, and keep people motivated looking forward, because that inherently builds resilience inside of your culture, as well as with your team. There's lots of technical things we can do. I mean, we talked about computers and architecture and that kind of stuff, but honestly, I think the number one form of resiliency is in your own mind, and it's how you move forward as a person and as a leader.
I would agree with that. Rich, you talked to a lot of people, and you mentioned to me that last week you reached out to all of your clients. What were you hearing out in the marketplace? Was there a theme, or what were their comments?
Yeah, I thought it was very important to reach out to customers, especially during this time, and just check in, say hello, and ask if we can do more. Not because I'm trying to sell something, but more just, I want to be there for our customers. I want to know what they're seeing and what they're experiencing, because I want to know, is there something we could be doing that we're not thinking about or not just aware of? I mean, how many people are filing for unemployment or disaster relief, and therefore how many forms are they filling out? Could we be doing some of those forms for them? And I would do it for free. I mean, I just want to help. But to your point, to your question, I was really, really happy, and it gave a lot of validation as well as a lot of confidence and support to hear from our customers, because they all had the same message back to me. The message was positive. They've transitioned well. Everything's operating smoothly for them. That it's, I wouldn't say totally business as normal, but operationally it is. So they're really showing that that financial services is the bedrock in America. There's a lot of professionalism, a lot of confidence, a lot of optimism about how this is going to go. I mean, forget the chaos in the stock market, the ups and downs. Everybody deals with that. And having been a financial advisor before I started Quik, I understand the psychological role that you play with your clients who are, you know, they're upset. They're looking at their 401ks, especially the ones in retirement, saying, oh my gosh, I lost $400,000. What does that mean? And I think that a lot of our customers are playing that strong, positive, confidence building role. And seeing the operational teams do that for their advisors just gives me so much more courage and strength that, you know, we're going to get through this very, very well.
Right. No, that's great to hear. It must have been very gratifying to hear such positive comments from your clients. Were there any comments that they made that might change how you operate your business? It sounds like you had some good responses, but was there any takeaway that would change how you do things going forward?
Yeah, I think that's a hard question for us, because we've been very forward focused for a long time. And a key initiative in our company, we're a forms company, right? So you'd think this is going to sound wrong, but a key initiative is how do we eliminate forms? And so we're coming out with technologies and capabilities and functions that enable people to work more remotely, more digitally, and more hands-off on the paper side of things. I have a long-term vision, which is to give people back their privacy, give them back control of their data. So think about this. You fill out a form and you put your social security number on it. You hand it to your financial advisor, who hands it to a branch office, who hands it to a back office person, who hands it to, I mean, how many people see this information? Well, what if we could control that, hide that information until the actual person who needs to see it sees it, or just the system that needs it gets it? So, you know, our long-term vision, I think this circumstance that we're going through right now, and hearing from customers saying, yeah, we want to be more digital. We have older generations of people who've fought being digital now saying, yeah, I'm ready for this change. And we're actually hearing from customers who say, I don't want to handle paper as much. I want my back office to work remote. I want them to be insulated from any kind of fears or concerns. So I think what this is doing is it's reinforcing the need for us to drive our vision and get more to a paper-free society. And then the other thing I'd say is just I'm probably going to have my team work from home a little bit more often so that they become a little more accustomed to this. Like I said, everybody does it probably about once a month, but I think we're going to find more freedom in this. And the other thing that's going to be interesting to see how it plays out is if everybody remembers in 9/11, after 9/11, travel fell precipitously. And I don't just mean, you know, vacations or such. I mean, business travel really didn't recover for another 18 months or 2 years or something. And I don't think it ever recovered because people suddenly realized they could do Zoom meetings. Well, Zoom didn't exist back then. It was WebEx. You know, the face-to-face is really important, but at the same time, you can get a lot done just doing it remotely. So I wouldn't be surprised if travel actually slows down a bit. Then again, we could all come out of this saying, I really want to meet people again.
I know, I think of that as well. But I do agree with you. I think that we've worked remotely for quite some time, but I think the corporate America will see that it wasn't quite as risky as they thought it was. Even though we were forced into working remotely, it's actually pretty nice, and it does give that freedom and flexibility people like. Last question. How has the experience over the last couple of weeks, how has this changed you? Yeah, well, I'm certainly very, very grateful for what I have around in my life. To be honest, I'm a little scared for my wife having to go into the ER. She's been an ER nurse for 6 years. She's very, very good at what she does. And it's just scary right now because there's so many stories about, is there enough protective gear? Is there a risk that she's going to get exposed? I mean, here for the last 2 weeks, we've been so sick, we thought we probably had the COVID virus, but we've tested negative, so we're fine. But that now means that we could still get it. So, you know, we have this trepidation, and, you know, it's not really about my business. It's just about my personal life. But I think other people are in similar circumstances. So I think that we're just being more cautious. We're certainly being more careful about things. I'm pretty certain that my son, my 5-year-old, got sick first, and it's probably because of the indoor playgrounds and the school environment he's in. I mean, it's just normal for little kids to pick stuff up. But man, we are just super cautious and careful about these things. You know, from a business side, it's also just reminding me to reach out more. Have that human touch as much as possible on the phone. And I'll tell you this, one thing that's going to happen, we're going to do more video like this. We actually have turned on all of our webcams. And so, yeah, that part's going to change for sure. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Video cameras are much more prevalent for sure. But yeah, I want to thank you so much, Rich. This has been great. It's always such a pleasure talking with you. And I have to reiterate that our partnership with Quik, it enables Skience to navigate unexpected changes every day. And we're very, very grateful for that. So stay well, stay healthy. I'll talk to you soon. And thank you again for your time. Yeah, thank you for your partnership and this opportunity. And I wish everybody watching this health and wealth. Thank you so much. Thank you.